Good morning, everyone. Today is Sunday, October 27th, and today we will cover Group A estimates, plus this, plus that, plus the other thing. So stay tuned for all of this fun. And by the way, I'm making this video in the dividend car as we speak, because as you know, I am away, and I can't really make it inside the house, or else my voice will wake everyone up. So this is a double bonus, right? We're doing an estimate video in the dividend car. All right, so anyway, we've now been pretty much through a full cycle, outside of like the YMAX, YMAG payments, but Group A is coming up again, so here we are. And now we're doing estimates every single week. Who would have thought this would have happened, right? I said I wouldn't, and here I am. But anyway, Group A, they are declaring on October 30th, which is this coming Wednesday. Ex-dividend date and record date, which no one cares about record date, but ex-dividend date is October 31st, which is Halloween on the Thursday. And then payment day for Group A will be November 1st, which is Friday. So no surprises there, just business as usual. Obviously, when holidays happen, whatchamacallit, Thanksgiving, right? You'll get paid the following week. You can already see like up here, the Group A at the top, the payment after the ex-dividend date, November 29th, which I guess even that skips a day, right? So they have declaration 11/27, which will be the Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve. They skip Thanksgiving. X date is the Friday, and then it looks like Monday is the payment day. So obviously they'll do what they have to do. I'll have to adjust my stuff too on some of the spreadsheets. But anyway, so let's get to it. So I'm going right to the TSLY spreadsheet because TSLY is the first one I'm doing an estimate on from Group A. And I just want to show you, as most of you know, I do the daily videos. I track how much they make each and every day. So TSLY has made a synthetic income. And also, guys, keep in mind, all right, they declare Wednesday. So they have Monday and Tuesday to actually do. A lot of things can happen Monday and Tuesday, all right? And when I say a lot of things, right, we go here, they're up 9% on their synthetic here, and then they're up, 5% on their synthetic there. Okay, so they can cash out on their synthetic. If you look here, right now their synthetic is worth $52 million. So they have not done that. If they do that, obviously the numbers could change, right? My estimate would certainly change. But as of right now, I'm taking the numbers as is, and I'm using a synthetic income of 15.1 million, right? Short call income on the weeklies, they lost 9 million. Total net income is 5.8 million. So total income per share is actually 9 cents. So what does that do? Nothing. It actually does nothing for me. I can't really give an estimate off of that. I can't give an estimate off the Rotometer because they're not making weekly money. So I can look at the IV. The IV is 58%. So are they going to pay 63 cents? Let's take a look. Let's see what I came up with. All right, so the last 2 months, what did they pay? TSLY paid 81 cents and then $1.09. I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to think they're going to pay 71 cents. Why? Let's see if I can shrink this column. Well, that didn't do much. Why? Well, because they're TSLY and they always overpay. That's my thought on that. They did make a total of 79 cents, from the last, payment, which that's okay. They didn't recover the full amount, by the way, but, you have to, if I don't know. It varies, man, because their IV is 57%. I'm giving them a guesstimate yield of 70%. So I'm just gonna assume, also you have the possibility they could close out the synthetic, but obviously, it would be much more. They'll probably, if they close out the synthetics, they may pay $1, right? So that would be kind of high, but I'm just gonna go with 71 cents. All right. 71 cents is really what they should pay. Look at the price. They're at $13.07. Should they be paying over $1? No, they shouldn't. So 71 cents is my estimate for TSLY, which is a 70% yield. OARK, they went up in share price by around 50 cents. The last 2 months, they paid 29 cents and 40 cents. I'm going to go with a payment of 33 cents, which is a 41% yield. GOOY, for the month, they went up, or I'm sorry, they actually went down 3 cents. They're at 15.20 at the moment, their current share price. The last 2 months, they paid 35 cents and then 25 cents. I'm going to give them a 38 cent payment, which now that I look at it is pretty high, but the guesstimate yield, it's only 32%. Their IV is 38%. So I don't know. I'm looking back. Yeah, okay, that's why. So they did have some higher payments there to, months prior, 46 cents, 49 cents. So are they going to pay 38 cents? Maybe not. Again, that's kind of steep based on the losses per share, but it's lower than their current IV. So, I should probably lower it now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, I'm going to give them a little less. I'm going to give them, sorry, GOOY, give them like 34 cents. So that'll give them it'll put them in a 29% yield bucket, which is pretty low, actually. But it is what it is. All right, let's move on. Zomo. All right, Zomo, last 2 months, paid 36 cents and then 25 cents. They have made, they lost 42 cents per share for the month. I'm going to give them a 32-cent guesstimate, which is a guesstimate yield of 24%. And that puts them, near their IV of 25%. So, I don't know. Again, Zomo, these ones are hard. They're so low, but do people... I know people buy into these, but it's not as much. So people, they want that steady Eddie payment, and they do consider this the steady Eddie payment. All right, now on to YBIT. This is one of the crazy ones, 72 cents they paid in September, and then the first 4-week payment, they paid 79 cents. I'm going to go ahead and say they're going to pay 73 cents. How much did they move for the month? They actually had a pretty good month. They went up $1.18. Keep in mind the share price of YBIT is only $13.19. My estimate of 73 cents would be a 71% yield, guesstimate yield, of course. Their IV, though, is 63%. Why? Why am I giving them a higher estimate? Well, they did do good this month, right? They made $1.18. At the same time, we're still in the fiscal year, by the way. So anything we're earning, technically, if they didn't pay it out already, or if they don't have losses on the books to offset it against, they'd have to pay out 90% of it. So will they pay out another 70-cent payment? Again, they paid 72 cents and then 79 cents. So 73 cents, again, that's considered high, but it's YBIT. YBIT's one of those ones I just think they're going to just bump it up a little because it's YBIT. I think these the crypto ones, they want to keep going. Now, SNOY is really tricky. SNOY, I don't even know. All right, so SNOY paid 86 cents. How long have they been out? They had 4 payments. But the last 2, 86 cents and 51 cents last month. 51 cents was kind of a letdown, I guess. But how'd they do for the month? SNOY actually went up 50 cents. So I'm going to give them a 62 cents payment. That's kind of in between the last 2. That's a guesstimate yield of 48%, which is lower than their current IV of 56%. All right, TSMY. This one, again, tricky. They had 1 payment prior, and they paid 37 cents. So is that anything worth a damn? Not really at the time, but why am I giving them $1.05, right? $1.05 is ridiculous, and it's super high. And actually, while I'm thinking about this, TSMY, they had 1 prior payment. So they should be part of, and I didn't check this, but I do have it up for another reason. They should be part of YMAX. Okay, they are. All right, good. So TSMY is part of YMAX. And the timing of these funds and when they get added to YMAX, what I'm thinking, I know I'm getting completely off track, but what I'm thinking is they add it not after they pay, but after the cycle is complete. For example, I think they added TSMY after the group D declared. That's a full, they have 4 groups. So once all 4 groups went with that cycle, that's when it went, because I don't think they want to interrupt the current cycle. All right, and we'll get it anyway. Hopefully that made sense. But anyway, let's continue. TSMY. They paid 37 cents last month, but look how much they made. Look, check this out. $2.09 they went up in share price. $2.09. Fiscal year. I know you're tired of hearing that word. Fiscal year, taxable year, whatever the hell. They close this week. So I don't know, man. It's just too new of a fund. Like, they're going to be paying out 90%. So this is going to be, again, I don't know what they cashed out on that fund. Like, just because it went up 209 a share, it doesn't mean all of this was cashed out, right? It doesn't mean all of that was actually produced as income and sits as cash on the books. It could be sitting in their options contracts. So you have to keep that into consideration as well. So that being said, I'm going to give them over $1. It could be more than this, but I'm going to give them $1.05. That would be a 62% yield. Their IV is 39%. I don't see, again, 209, how much did they make? How much did they actually make of taxable income of that? We don't know. Again, I don't track TSMY. If I did, I would know. But this is just based on a guesstimate. But you guys, make your own assumption. You could probably research it yourself. It's a little hard unless you have the historical intraday trades. But yeah, that's my guesstimate on TSMY. Crash paid 98 cents. The last 2 weeks, they paid 98 cents. Did they have any business doing that? I don't know. I don't think so. But this month, it's got to go down, man. How'd they do this month? I mean, look at that. That's freaking horrible. They went down $1.33. They're at $11. These inverse funds are ridiculous. But I'm still going to give them a higher yield than their IV, because I have a feeling they're going to pay at least that, right? So I'm going to give them 55 cents. All right, 55 cents is a 64% yield. And their IV is 57%. So again, there's no way they're paying 98 cents again. All right. They're not even going to be close to that. So that's my guesstimate for all of them. All right. So real quick, what are the amounts and their yields? TSLY, 71 cents, 108% yield. OARK, 33 cents, 51% yield. GOOY, 34 cents, 21% yield. Zomo, 32 cents, 19% yield. YBIT, 73 cents, 78% yield. SNOY, 62 cents, 40% yield. TSMY, $1.05, 22% yield. And Crash, 55 cents, 115% yield. Now we get into the fun stuff. All right, so we talked about gains per share. Obviously, that's how we track the recovery rate. So we want to check how much of the last distribution they have recovered. Again, they're essentially at their full cycle, so these numbers are almost final. TSLY has recovered 72% of the prior month's distribution. That's not, great, but it's not bad. OARK has recovered all of it, 122% of it. GOOY and Zomo, they're in the red. GOOY negative 11%, and Zomo even worse, negative 165%. So that's not really that good at all. YBIT is looking at 147% recovery rate. So they had a really good month, as we saw. SNOY recovered 97% of their latest distribution. TSMY, fantastic month. They recovered 562% of their latest distribution. I mean, last time, I honestly think they paid pretty low. So that's why, again, I think they're going to have they're going to be the surprise of the group for this time around. Crash, negative 135% on that one. All right, so now that we have the guesstimate for Group A, we can now do the estimate for YMAX and YMAC. So it's pretty simple. I take the average, right? I take the average of how much they're paying. I take a percentage of how what size are they of YMAX. You guys don't really care about that nitty gritty, but I'll just give you the estimates. YMAX estimate payment, 19 cents. Keep in mind, this is not for this coming week. This is for the week after this week, okay? Because again, Group A pays next week. YMAX doesn't pay Group A's payment on the same week. YMAX pays Group A's payment the week after the Group A payment. I'll give you YMAX and YMAX estimate after this for Group D, which is next week. But this is for the following, all right? Keep that in mind. All right, so YMAX 19 cents and YMAG 21 cents for that. But again, we'll have a better estimate, later on, and probably next weekend at the latest we'll have that. So this is just an estimate based on my estimate, okay, if that makes sense. And let me just jump ahead to Group D. Again, so we're using actuals here, all right? So their actual yield overall ended up being 84 cents. That's pretty damn good, right? So the YMAX estimate for this coming week, I'm predicting to be pretty big, 27 cents. YMAG to be 16 cents. Again, this is based on the actual payment, so this is an actual estimate, okay? And this is for this week, this upcoming week, all right? Obviously, the one I gave you prior, which is right here, 19 cents and 21 cents. This is for the week after the upcoming week. All right, so that's for Group A. Going down the line, we can talk about the recovery rate and how it's going for Group B. It's not really going that good for most of these, but we'll take a look. NVIDIA, it's going good for them. They recovered 128% of their last distribution, so that's really good. So Phoebe, they're negative 21%, so they obviously have not recovered anything. They're actually minus that. JPMO doing pretty good. They recovered 116%. By the way, their price $18.25. That's not bad. I never really give any love for JPMO, but I have to say, looking at that, they're pretty solid. It looks like Murney, not solid at all. Their price is at $7.08. I mean, good God, they're gonna have a reverse split very soon. They have not recovered, of course. They're negative 93%. I mean, I don't know, man. What do you say? What do you say about that? GDXY, what are they doing? They recovered 23%. At least they're not negative. Babo. Oh, no, Babo. Yeah, negative 157%. Very, very bad. All right. PLTY. Obviously that was Babu. From Seinfeld, if you don't get the Seinfeld references. Great show. My favorite show. I don't know if you guys are Seinfeld or Friends people or neither, but you can let me know. PLTY. Actually, maybe that'll be the keyword if I can remember when I finish this long video. PLTY, they didn't have a distribution, okay? So they haven't had a payment yet. So if I go over there, yeah, no payment. So there's no recovery rate for them. They are sitting at 52.53. They have gone up 34 cents per share, though, FYI. Dips, negative 97%, all right? Negative 97%. So they're not doing well, but they're not doing well because NVIDIA did well, right? These inverse, they need the other funds to fail. So, again, I don't know. I'm not into the inverse, and I don't get it. And maybe I just don't want to get it, but some people invest in both. It's just, I don't know. I just see like you're never going to get anywhere, right? You're never going to get up. I feel like it's only going to go down overall. Like it's just setting up for failure. All right, let's move on. Enough about the inverse. Group C, which, Nefli or Coney, we'll say Coney leads it, but Nefli has recovered 191%. Good job, Nefli. Coney has recovered 10%. MSFO has recovered 51%. Again, we always want to make sure the formulas are accurate. It's picking up AO, right? AO. Yeah. So it has the latest and greatest. All right, so where were we? MSFO, 51%. AMDY, 4%. PP recovered 33%. ABNY, negative 27%. That's not good. Fiat, 1.38%. That's really, that sucks, right? Fiat. Shocker. That's an inverse one. All right, Ulti, 12%. Come on, Ulti. Let's go. Ulti. You're supposed to do better. Everyone is relying on you, Ulti. I don't know, man. We got to do better. I don't track Ulti, and I don't want to track Ulti. I'm not the options guy to be tracking Ulti. They're doing all kinds of stuff that I don't want to, like. This is why I invest in Ulti, because they do options above, way beyond my pay grade. So if any options guys are out there, do videos on Ulti, man. You'll kill it. You'll kill it. One day I'll take a look, and I don't know if I could do it justice, but one day I'll just, maybe when I have a open weekend, just like dissect it and see what in the hell they are doing. But it's not going to be straightforward anymore. All right, so Group D just paid, literally just paid, but we're tracking this as of ex-dividend date, which is 10/24. So how have they done? How has Group D done since 10/24? Well, Aptly has recovered 14%, AMZY 11%, DISO negative 17%, SQUY 1.96%, whoopee, AIYY 11%, MSTY negative 10%, SMCY, good job. Man, I want that one, but I haven't bought it. 26%. YQQQ continues to crap. Negative 30%. So yucky. Oh, by the way, Group D has declared, right? They declared last week. And so we didn't talk about, I didn't even look at this, but has Misty paid 100% house money yet? I don't know. Let's take a look. I didn't look, I swear. Where the hell is it? Oh, no. It's still, did we talk about this already? Maybe we did. I remember seeing that number. But we always cover house money after a distribution was made. So Misty has paid out 93% of their total launch price, right? Their launch price is $21.60, and I have a total distribution column. Here it is, a column S. Total distribution's $20 even, all right? So they paid out 93%, right, of the total launch price. Total launch price was $21.60. So the next payment it's going to be paid off on the next payment. I mean, it's going to be paid off. So it's a no-brainer. So after the next Misty payment, you are going to be paid, 100% of the original investment had you got in on the original investment time. And by the way, it's clear to me that they did a forcible one-upper because their first payment was $412. They one-upped that baby. They paid $419. So you gotta love it. So the last payment was the highest payment in Misty history. Look at that. Misty. Always making everyone happy. All right, so what about the others' house money? Should we talk about it? Yeah, because they just paid. Aptly, they're at 32% house money. If the closer to 100%, obviously, then you're playing with house money if you bought it at the launch price. Again, I know not many people buy these at launch prices, but this is interesting information, okay? At least to me. If you guys don't want this, I don't have to talk about house money. All right, Aptly, 32%. AMZ, 45%, so almost halfway there. DISO, 33%. SQUY, 58%. That's pretty good. AIYY, 33%. MSTY, we talked about, 93%. SMCY, 10%. Not bad for, one payment. YQQQ, 4%. All right. So, yeah, I mean, not bad numbers overall. Again, we'll see. But Misty is the clear leader to pay the next, 100% house money. All right. So that was the estimate on the Group A. That was the estimate on YMAG and YMAX. And then that was house money on the most recent ones, right? So what else the hell? What else is there to talk about, right? Well, again, I talk about different things. I'm trying not to be repetitive, but one thing I want to look at is IV. IV on the existing ones and IV on the ones that come out. So again, the higher the IV, the higher the premium you can make. But also, the higher the IV, typically the higher out of the money they can sell the calls on, and that's good as well. So let's take a look at Group A. Group A, TSLY, YBIT, and SNOY are the highest. 57% TSLY, YBIT 63%. Again, this is the IV of the underlying, and then SNOY 56%. So, these ones, Is their IV enough? I always say TSLY is underrated IV. You know, their IV should be much higher, so that's not high enough for me to say it's a good investment. But, you know, how about SNOY? Is SNOY high enough? Again, I don't know how much they fluctuate. I will talk about them on the weekly variance video that I do that shows the weekly change in each fund. But, you know, again, these are pretty decent high Vs, nothing crazy. NVIDIA shows a 60% IV, which is pretty good at the moment. Murney, again, 78%. That's really good, but it seems like the underlying, you know, Moderna is just going down. I don't know. I don't track Moderna, but if you look at the chart, we got the 1-year spark line. Throw that in there. It's heading down. Well, I guess that's Murney's spark line anyway. But anyway, yeah, so that's a pretty good IV, but I don't know, man. PL2Y has a really good IV at 71% as well, so something to keep an eye on. All right, Group C, who's their IV leader? Coney, by far, 86%. Next in that is AMDY. Underrated, for sure, AMDY. But we'll see. NVIDIA gets all the love, I know. PPS, 47%. They are no slouch. I don't know, man. They're also underrated in my eyes. ABNY is 46% IV, but no, thank you. What about Group D? Well, of course, Misty, 101%. Squeeze, 64%. That's really good too. But I feel like that's underrated IV based on how they move. AIYY wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole, man. That's a 53% IV, and they're just in the shitter, it seems. All right, so what about new funds? New funds coming out. All right, Marrow. Oh, we need the underlying name. Marrow is Mara. Okay, so I had to, you know, keep in mind the implied volatility is all the way to the right now, column N, so we can see the underlying name. All right, so Mara is a 111% IV. So if they launch Marrow, again, I don't know about that one, but that's a really good IV, right? Carvana, 77% IV, but no, thank you. I'm not messing with that one. You know, I know people love Carvana, but I just have a feeling, just like looking at it, seeing the commercials, they're not something I want to be a part of. Roku, I think Roku is a good product. Again, as like a customer, I think they make a good product. So 76% IV, that's really high for a pretty decent product. So I would as a YMAX holder now, I would welcome that into YMAX. I would not buy it individually. Robinhood, 75% IV. I'd welcome that into YMAX. That's a good IV for that. Probably not buy it individually. I'm not going to buy many of these individually anymore. Again, I'm trying to slowly do my own options, but we'll see as time goes on. If they have a really good, again, I'm thinking about SMCY though. That's the only one I'm considering at the moment. Roblox, no thank you, 63% IV. Shopify, hell no, 65% IV. DraftKings, hell no, 61% IV. I mean, these are fine to be in YMAX though, not bad. I'm just saying individually, I would not buy. Intel, 66. You know, I can't get through everyone, but let's try to pinpoint any high ones here. Yeah, that's the end of the high ones, right? So PDD, 50%. So the last high one was really JD.com, 58% IV. And then Intel was, Intel 67%. That's good. That's a high IV. So these are something to look forward to. I don't know what's launching next, but I do have, it should be most of the ones that they did file for. I know people talk about the Berkshire one. They filed for that one before they even launched, right? It was supposed to be part of the original group, but they just didn't see it as a moneymaker, right? 90% IV, what are they going to pay? 90% yield? Is that going to be like a game changer? No, not really. Target, Target's on there. If Target's on there, then Costco can be on there. I know a lot of the community wants Costco on there. All right, so that's pretty much it for the estimate update, the estimate video, the estimate party. There's nothing really, I talk about obviously the underlying highs and lows. I'm not going to do that every single video. But I'm trying to utilize this spreadsheet and cover various things that interest people. So it is kind of all over the board. But I think people enjoy it, but you guys can let me know in the comments down below. All right. What you guys think of this format. Does this format work that I pick and choose kind of what I want to cover I'm always going to do recovery rate because I think that's important. I think people do want to see that. But outside of that, I'll just utilize this spreadsheet and cover the various fields that I feel it's been a while or, whatnot. But anyway, you saw the estimates. I've read them twice. I'm not going to read it again. But in summary, we're looking... Tesla's the one, 71 cents, obviously. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. They have synthetics. They could do a synthetic bailout. They can get a pretty payment, and then they can go from there. I will repeat the YMAX and YMAG heading for this week. Again, I'm expecting a 27 cent for YMAX, 16 cent for YMAG. So we'll see. We'll see what this week brings. It's going to be interesting. Again, we're now through a full cycle of the weeklies. We call them weeklies, but they're not weeklies. They're every 4 weeks. But YMAX and YMAG are weeklies. But as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a schlep freezing in the dividend car at the moment. So please do your own research, guys. Obviously, these funds are risky. I think most of you understand it. But for newer viewers, guys, these funds are risky. So understand the risks, and just look at the historical data. There's been plenty of history on a lot of these. So if you're not sure like what these funds do, look them up, right? Look them up. All right. What else? If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. I know you guys enjoy the estimate video, but so I'm just reminding you, please hit the like button. Questions or concerns, leave them in the comments below. Now, if you made it this far in the video, and you want to prove it, we have a keyword, right? So for those of you new to the channel, and there are new subscribers, what I do is if people make it to the end of the video, I say a keyword. So what they have to do is they have to say the keyword in the comments, and it proves they actually, made it through the video. So I see it, others see it, so it shows how awesome you are. But anyway, today's keyword, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, I did remember. So in the beginning, I did say, I was talking about Babu, and I'm going to ask, are you a Seinfeld person or are you a Friends person? So typically people like one or the other. I'm a Seinfeld person. My wife likes Friends. I know it's very unfortunate, but I don't know. That's just the way it is. And you meet people who like Friends. They don't like Seinfeld. You meet people like Seinfeld. They don't like Friends. I hate Friends, to be honest. But I love Seinfeld. I could watch Seinfeld any point in time forever, right? It's a show about nothing. It's hilarious. But anyway, are you a Seinfeld person or are you a Friends person? I won't hold anything against you, regardless of your answer, but let me know in the comments down below. If you don't like either, then what's your show? All right, what's your go-to show? Like the best show of all time that you could watch at any point in time and you get excited. Let me know in the comments down below. All right, guys, I'm done. I can get out of the dividend car. I can stop freezing. It got a little colder. Yesterday morning was a little warmer, but today's a little cold. But I did wear shoes, so my feet didn't freeze. So I just want to say, guys, as always, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate the likes and the comments. Believe me, I see you guys. I see you out there. So I just wanted to say, thank you very much. All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, or if you're watching this during the week, enjoy your week. All right. Take care and have a good one. Later.